Good morning, everyone. How's everybody been doing? I'm back today. I had a long couple of weeks. My grandbaby was born on the 17th, which was the new moon, y'all. And I looked that up because my cousin, last video I did, you guys, my cousin had went home, got called home, and he passed on the full moon. Well, my grandbaby was born on the new moon, so that's a thing of new beginnings. And with the new moon, we brought in a new chapter of life, which is my granddaughter. We haven't decided her name yet. Well, I think my daughter was working on it last night, but I hope she chooses the name that we both came together with, which was Honesty Unique. She's a beautiful baby, y'all, and I'm so blessed. That's my number 12, along with bonus grandbaby. So really, I have like, I'ma say like, I guess. Okay, I have 2 extra bonus, and then okay, I have 15 grandchildren with my bonus grandbabies. So that's a blessing, y'all. But anyway, I'm on here since we talking about love. You know, I hope everybody didn't let the people who weren't coupled up for Valentine's Day, you know, because of other reasons. Some people lost their significant other. My heart goes out to them, which was my cousin's wife and my auntie, you know. They had a beautiful relationship, so I know it was kind of bittersweet for Valentine's Day for them, but I'm still sending. They got love. They knew they was getting love from above. So I'm pretty sure they still felt love, but it was bittersweet. So I get it, you know. But let's get back to the love situation, you know. So let's talk about people who are either dealing in situations where they're not the main character and they're not being chosen for Valentine's Day, or they didn't get their time for Valentine's Day, so they probably didn't get that day or the next day or however it went. What we gotta learn is stop accepting less than what you know you're worth. You know, so with that, I had to learn how to show myself love. I don't expect to be no Valentine's Day after if I'm not on the day. You know, if you can't love me every day and then show me the appreciation of love that you have me on for me on Love Day, then don't even worry about it the next day or the next day, you know. And I'm cool, you know, because I love myself. So when you learn to love yourself, you really don't put too much emphasis on what people doing on Valentine's Day, because a lot of people just doing it for clout. They thinking they making the other woman mad or the other man mad, and that's not what Valentine's Day is about. Matter of fact, I love Valentine's Day because that's one of the days that you get to be more expressive with your love, not just to your couples, but to your mother, to your father, to your kids, you know, your friends. I called my friends, I called my mama, called my daughter, told them Happy Love Day because I love them all. Valentine's Day is a love day. It's not specially made for couples, which is more romantic if you had a couple to love, you know. So I just want people to start being in their feelings when certain days like they come. And it was my grandmother and grandfather's anniversary. They would have been together like 60 some years, I want to say. But anyway, I just wanted to focus on that and people who settle in life for stuff because they think that that's all they gonna get from that person and they really got feelings for them. So they willing to accept the breadcrumbs. Well, you know, I can relate to a lot of stuff, so that's why I don't judge. I've been that type of person too, to where I wanted to compete for love. I try to show that I'm better than the next person. I don't have to prove that to anybody. I'm just gonna be me. And if you can't reciprocate my love and you trying to manipulate it, then you're not the one for me. So y'all get out y'all feelings about this love thing on Valentine's Day. A lot of people think that it's cute to get on Facebook and send shouts out like, you know, trying to get it because they know that they partner is fooling with somebody that's probably on social media watching them both. So they try to do subliminal stuff, all that petty. We too old for that shit type of shit. Love is love. I don't care how many flowers and candy you get. A person to do that just to keep you quiet, and they still love somebody else. So I just had to learn that that's not the way I want to be. So I had to learn to stop crying about stuff, crying over spilled milk, and just know that I will love again. And when you just can't make things work with the person that you would like it to work with, you need to heal yourself. Go back into isolation and work on yourself. And then learn that you need to stop crying because the person who laughing, they gonna be crying later. Just like you crying now, and they laughing, they gonna be crying. But the difference is, you don't even have to laugh, cause you know we don't do tit for tat. My mission ain't to come hurt nobody because they hurt me. My mission is just to mirror them to themselves so they can work on being better. And that's all I can do, because like I say, I ain't never trying to change nobody but myself. So, you know, we don't want no bitterness. So if they choose them, congratulate them. Congratulate them on their new beginning. Congratulate them on their relationship. Them choosing to be with each other. Because you cannot make a person change if they don't want to change. If they want to be like they are and they cool with what they're settling for in life, because I will never again settle for being the main woman but not the only woman. I'll never settle for being the other woman and not the only woman. So congratulations to those who think they won. So anyway, You know, I don't let that make me feel like I'll never love again. I can love somebody, but maybe they just wasn't the person that I needed to give my love to. So all I know how to do is call my power back and save that all that love for me till someone comes along that I'm ready to share the love that I have for myself with them too, and they willing to do the same. Because I don't come with chaos, and I don't want nobody else to come to me with chaos. So I just know, you know, sometimes people be in their feelings and heartbroken and saying, I'll never be with nobody like that again. I'll never give my heart to nobody again. Shit, not me. Yes, I will. I will love somebody else. And I will give my heart to somebody else if they are willing to do their part for me. It don't make me closed off to love, and I don't let nobody have that much power over me to make me bitter behind love and close my heart. It's just that my heart space is closed for them. So don't allow people to change you and give your love to people who don't deserve it. So I don't let that get in the way, and I don't let nobody keep my power. So you letting people keep your power when you feel like you ain't gonna never love nobody else like them again. No. You get on your knees and ask God to help release you from that person so he can bring in the right person. Because God already sent a person to you. And I had to learn that too, you know. I be studying so hard on synastries and astrology to see how compatible I am with someone. And I read so deep into it to where I found out who God sent to me. But just because I know it didn't mean that they knew it. And just because I was ready didn't mean they was ready. And God is going to only save me for a person who's willing to see that God sent me to them. He's not going to keep letting that person, he don't bring confusion to me. So once he showed the person who I was to them, and they start being confused and wasn't ready, want to stay stuck, didn't want to change, didn't want to believe. You gotta know when a person come in your life how they are, if they a karmic cycle or a cycle sent from God. And if you take advantage of it, you know God is gonna remove that person from your life. So I know my purpose, and I know when God sent people to me. So I've learned not to take it for granted. And not to be delusional to other things that I know that just because I'm comfortable with it don't make it right. You can't help who you love. And you can't help the timing that God sends the person to you that you love. Because evidently he had to reveal to you what real love was so you wouldn't be caught up in the same cycle of repeating things of your past. Because, you know, that's why I don't really do, I have no problem. Them people are gifted. You know, I'm spiritual and I have gifts too with my intuition because of God. But you know, you have some people that don't want to use their own intuition. So they go get guidance, and I appreciate readers too, because they help me get to where I am now in life, listening to readings. But some people don't know how to listen to readings, and they listen to it for the wrong reason. They're not listening to it to learn a lesson. They listening to it to get revenge. They listening to it to know how to be manipulative to situations. And see, I know when God gave me this gift, he knew I wasn't going to take advantage of it. Because, you know, when you play with gifts God give you, he take them away. He take away your intuition. He takes away your gifts when you use it in a ungodly way. So I learned my path. I learned who God had for me. But the person that he had for me kept wanting me to be in my low vibrational self in order to be with them. No, you got to come along with me. I'm not going down. I'm not going backwards. I'm not settling. I'm not waiting. I'm not a bench warmer. I have things in life that God has put me on a mission to do that he really wanted the person that he sent to me to come together and do. But believe it or not, I'm going to be successful with or without that person because I'm staying on my path. But if the person was to awaken, some people refuse to awake because they don't want to get out themselves. No. They cool with doing scheming and cheating and manipulating and traumatizing, and they like all that type of stuff. They'll act like they don't, but they'll still be in it. That's why I don't let people pillow talk with me, because if you're still in that situation, you betraying me but want me to give you advice. What type of shit is that? You want to come to me like I'm your friend, but at the same time, you portraying me for the person that you want advice for. Hell no, I don't pillow talk with nobody. Only way I'm going to talk about somebody if they completely finna be in my past, and I'm going to tell you why they in my past and why they can't come back to me. I'm not finna talk about what they do and how they make me feel, but I'm still there. I know they ain't no good for me. I know they using me. I know I should have done this, but your ass still there. So don't even talk to me about the shit. I don't want to know. I don't pillow talk with people. Come to me when you're out of the situation. Don't come to me while you in the situation and take my energy. So I had to learn that, had to learn who I was, And so, it'd be funny how the other person, and I'm not just going to say women, it be men. They be in competition too, just like women. And then they be feeling like they won because they done force somebody to choose them. My love ain't forceful. My love is natural. If you don't naturally love me like I naturally love you, I'm not finna fight for no love. Love is free. Love don't cost nothing. Love don't mean, if you don't pay my bill, if you can't pay my bills. Not if you don't, because you already know if you dealing with a person, if they had the money to help you, they would help you. But I'm not giving nobody no ultimatum to do nothing for me if they don't already know they need to do it. Now, if they can't do it, they need to be trying to do better so they can be able to look out the same way I'm looking out. But we all fall off into hard times, but if somebody is a good person or if they just taking you for granted. And don't let no man make you feel like you can't find nobody better than him. Just because they pay bills and they cook or they clean or whatever they do, and they still out treating you like shit or still going out fucking around on you, but they just because they bring home they bacon. You get your own damn bacon. You don't need them to help you like that. And if you do feel like that, you need to get out that codependency. And God will make a way for you, and God will send somebody who won't try to manipulate them being the kind of man or woman that they are towards you as a controlling method to control you, to make you feel like less than because, oh well, at least she do this, at least she pay this, or at least he pay this. But you still feel like crap. You still feel like you still ain't being chose. You being chose for what you do. You being chose for what you accept. They ain't gonna choose the person. I always know a person not gonna choose when it comes to them choosing between a woman or a man who know they work. They gonna choose somebody that's less than, that's gonna accept them being less than to them and breadcrumb them. So y'all please stop letting people get your power. Ask God to keep you balanced. And send somebody who's balanced like you in your life, because people come along after you done all your healing. And God gonna let the devil test you. Gonna see if you gonna go back to that same cycle or accept the same type of energy, because he can be a different person, but they still carry that same type of energy. God tests you to see if you was listening or if you learned the lesson. So if don't nobody come to me whole, they can stay away from me halfway. Don't half step. Don't have your leg on one side of the fence and the other leg inside the door and think that you finna come and bring me back to that side of the door and I want to be on the side where the fence is. I'm going forward. I don't go backwards. And that goes for anybody. Friendships, relationships, family ships. If you done created chaos, you gonna have to come towards my way, which is towards the light. I don't go back towards the dark. I don't entertain darkness. But I will go to the dark to kick a motherfucker ass so I can go back to the light. Don't come fucking with me. Because although I try to be of the light, I have no problem with going in the dark to handle my business when it comes to somebody playing with my peace, my love, my joy, my money, my kids. I don't play about none of them. I don't get into it with nobody. I stay to myself. I don't try to, when I go on Facebook, I go on Facebook trying to bring people joy, trying to give people good advice. I ain't on there trying to down nobody. I laugh at jokes. I try to make people laugh. I try to make people heal. I try to be understanding. I even go on there and express and cry in front of people because I just know that I'm not ashamed to have emotions. That's a part of human nature. I have feelings. I be happy. I be sad. I be up. I be down, but I always know the sun gonna shine again, and I don't let none of that hold me back from what God wants me to do, my whole purpose. So, some people not ready, and you can't make them ready because they still thinking surface level. So, I know why I'm not in a relationship. I know why it's hard for me to date. Because when you're spiritual, people think that you gonna know too much and they're afraid to deal with you because you're spiritual, and not even being spiritual, just because you're smart. And it's hard to date people who are smart and spiritual and don't have both of the skills. You spiritual and you smart. Because some people spiritual, they ain't smart. And some people smart, they ain't spiritual. So, God gifted me with both. So, it teaches me, like, to let go with love, not with anger. So that's what we need to learn, when it comes to love. It's a game that people try to play when they know that they have a certain hold over you. So they use that to their advantage. And I already know what was wrong with me, After I healed, I have always loved love. But once I healed, I really love love. I love to see love, I love to see couples. I love to see people love each other. Love is beautiful. And it's really the most powerful thing in this world. That's why a lot of people try to come in between things like that when they know that love wins. Love don't always win. And when you love, you bring in all the other things along with love. So, I learned that by me being a lovable person, I attract a lot of empty people who love my energy, love my love energy, but they empty, so they don't know how to give or receive it. So I end up being the one who gets the most turmoil. That's what I'm gonna say. I get the most turmoil in the end because of the love, and they need to go heal and learn how to love, But one thing about me that I do know, they'll never forget me. Every time they hear a song, they either eat something, they somewhere outside, I know they think of me, because I know what kind of imprint I leave on people's heart, and I'm not just saying that, bragging, because I know what type of person I have became. So it's no doubt that when you're a good person, you leave a imprint on somebody when they didn't treat you right, or they didn't accept the love when you had it to offer to them, and they know that they have lost their chance with you. So once I close the door is closed, and I don't reopen the door. And I just know I might need to go isolate and recharge and get back on my path, and then God will put another person who's supposed to be on my path. He's gonna send that person to me, because please believe, if you don't want to be alone, God ain't gonna allow you to be alone. If you want love, God gonna bring the right person to love you. You just gotta stay loving on yourself and stop settling for anything less than what you deserve. And that is what I want to leave y'all with. That's the message. God bless y'all. I love you guys. And have a blessed Thursday.